Hello, and welcome to episode, my goodness, 89 of Super Pros Pros. I'm Player 2, Eli, and with me, as always, is.
Player one, Ike, and Gary Broldman. Did you know that this pod is on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spoofy?
I did not Marco Brolo. Is that the same place as people could
Like,
comment
share.
and subscribe?
Hold on, checking, confirming, notarizing. The jury's in. It's good.
Went through
To go.
several different processes there.
Had to make sure.
Fair enough. So it has been a hot moment since we have.
Yeah, it has.
All right, calm down. This is a work.
You said hot moment, not hot minute.
I'm still gonna need you to calm down. This is a workplace.
So there's the Chili's.
This is a Wendy's. What's been going on?
So through the weirdest way, I found out I have the most passive aggressive doctor. I went to go pick up my prescription for I've been having like really bad allergies this go around, and like I had to get like fucking super Allegra, which it's free, don't mind it. Helps me breathe. I'm fine with it.
Sure.
And also my doctor, without asking or talking to me at all, prescribed me a vitamin D supplement, which is I think his way of being like, get the fuck outside, nerd. But like didn't tell me at all. I'm just like, dude, what? Like, why am I getting 5,000 unit tablet of vitamin D without requesting it in the slightest? It might be the most like just like aggro pick up the hid, touch grass fucking nerd move I've ever experienced in real life. Is awesome. I was like, wow.
Amazing.
Had a interesting interaction dating recently where somebody is dick whipped, doesn't realize it, even though they're a therapist. And then when I was like, look, enjoy your life, but do realize that this guy's making literally all the decisions. And she's like, no, I don't think he is. I'm like, you don't think that because you think you're making them, even though he's pushing you to make them. Again, don't care. I'm leaving. But like, you might want to look into that person who's getting a master's degree in psychiatry. Like, don't get whipped around by also the shittiest boy. Like, the guy texts her like once every other day, but like she really likes to talk and chat. Like we would like have 2-hour conversations. We would text regularly, and then she's like letting this guy like just dick whip her into the fucking sun. I'm like, all right, have fun with that. And then she's like, but I mean, we could be friends. Like we can't do that stuff. But it's like, no. All right, for anybody out there that thinks that that's a good idea, I'll say exactly what I said to her. Uh, if something was started as romantic entanglement and either person had strong feelings, which I notably made I did, being friends, if one of you is in a monogamous relationship and the other one especially isn't, results in two things that are like one of two things that suck. Either one person is just dying on the inside but pretending they're not great, or, and arguably worse, they cheat together. Those are the outcomes.
Not great.
98% of the time. Can good things happen? Yeah. Should you make plans for it? Fucking do math and bet accordingly, you moron.
I shouldn't be giggling.
I mean, you've heard it twice now. It's funny. I'm angry at stupid bitches. It's fine. Anyway, moving on. This more of an event. This last weekend, so in the time that we have since been gone, yet another Magic set has been released, and there was a big tournament this last weekend. We were recording on the 28th. This would have been the 21st. That was Final Fantasy, which on its face sounds horrible. Like the fact that they're making magic sets based on video games, it feels like they're kind of, doing dumb.
It feels like they're fucking chilling out and the game has no identity like it used to.
I agree that it's losing a little bit of its identity.
A
That is
little.
fair. However, the amount of eyeballs and people that are looking and buying magic cards is changing. This will unravel as the story unfolds. So, the prior 2 weeks before, I was playtesting for this tournament because there were like back-to-back Pro Tour qualifiers in Las Vegas. So hop, skip, and a jump, and I wants to be on the Pro Tour, so I was in there like swimwear. Helped some kids graduate from high school. Yippee! That was pretty awesome watching
Huzzah.
some kids work. Also, sidebar, at our graduation, I have been to many a graduation now because of work and because of going to my own and my brother's here, as
Sure.
well as friends. I have never seen as good a speaker as I saw at the graduation, and they were a student. Holy fuck! I just
dang.
like no, they weren't like on a substance clearly, which I have seen presenters of all ages clearly be kind of amped, and you're like, all right, we took a hit of something. It might have just been caffeine, but you're fucking wired.
You're a bit juiced up there, Chief.
Yeah. And it's not bad. Like some people need that to get through it. Doing it is scary. It's why it's like, I believe the number one or number two fear amongst Americans and or humans is public speaking.
Mhm.
This girl at like 19 with no experience in public speaking just got up there and rocked it. I was like, what am I seeing right now? I have told her since multiple times. I'm like, look, know you want to go into this field. I love that for you. Definitely should do it. Also, while you're going to community college, take a public speaking course just for fun. Because, girl, like, this is a superpower. Anyway, then went to said Pro Tour qualifiers in Las Vegas with friends. Saw my boy JPEG, and played in the tournament. Did decently. Went 5 wins, 3 losses both days. The first day it was a little less of a gut punch. The day ended awesome though. I played against one of the coolest players I've played against. He is a Japanese, like early 20s, I think, like young adult who lives in Rome and is studying to be a doctor.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that's a story I've never heard before. Why is that? He goes, well, if I become a doctor, if I study and become a doctor in Japan, I can only work in Japan. If I study and become a doctor in any European country, I can practice anywhere in Europe. Also, it's easier. Also, the work-life balance is better. I'm like, this kid fucking gets it. I'm like, you are not wrong from everything I heard. That is telling the tale I have heard 1,000 times. Good on you. Very smart. Also, it didn't pronounce this way in Japanese, but it read like his name was Messiah, which is fucking hilarious given the fact that he's in Rome studying to be a doctor.
There is. Yep.
Fucking awesome. Jokes were made. He took them in kind, was a swell opponent. I fucking rinsed him, but he took it like a champ and was an awesome dude. I wish him all the best. So entering the tournament, it was not described on the platform that we got any kind of promo. However, when we showed up, they gave us these Tifa promos. I don't know if you're familiar with Final Fantasy. I barely am.
I'd say a little bit. Like, I kind of know who Tifa is.
So Tifa, I knew she was a popular character because I've heard of her.
Yeah.
I didn't realize she's like she is one of the most fan-loved characters in the series. Like top 10, definitely, probably top 5. Also, number 4. This is one of those things you definitely just hear from nerds calmly, even though no one should say this shit out loud, let alone in a room of other people you don't know. Is like we're building so this is a sealed deck. So we sit down, we get presented cards, then we make a deck from them. I very fortunately opened great both days. One of the guys next to me goes, yeah, I think that promo is going to be worth a lot. She's ranked number 4 on rule34.com.
I knew where you were going with this too. Incredible.
The fact that you would say that in a room full of people you've never met before is amazingly silly.
Yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, Rule 34 is a rule of the internet that anything that will be turned into pornography, correct?
Yep. And anything. Rule 34 is if it's on the internet, there is a porn of it. Rule 35 is if Rule 34 doesn't exist, it will soon.
Yeah. Look that up at your own leisure, displeasure, which whatever.
You can take our word for it, or you can verify. It's a rule for a reason, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's Jesus porn out there. For those of you that wanted to have your mind explode.
There's fucking porn for cars, like the Pixar movie. Like
there is a subreddit of dragons fucking cars.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which is just, I know there are people beating their meat to it, but I'm over here just having the best of times laughing at the most awesome of absurdist artwork.
Yeah.
Anyway, to bring it back around, so this promo, it's worth some money. Cool. I go out on the floor. I walk around. First couple vendors I talk to, we're not buying it. Next vendor, $80. This tournament was $135 to enter. I was like, $80 for just a card that they gave out. That doesn't seem bad. Let's just double check. Walk around another vendor, $150. Sold American. If I can enter a tournament, get given a card, and just sell that card, play the tournament, which has prize support,
re-roll it instantly
be up $15, buy lunch, done.
Tournament and a sandwich.
Yeah. End up doing well. If you finish in the top 128, you got a foil version of the card. This is an alternate art of the card. I shop around a bit. A friend of mine goes, this is going to be buckets. I think I'm going to sit on it unless I hear some absurd number. I was like, what's absurd? He goes, I mean, if somebody offers me 1,000. It's like, that makes sense.
It's a lot of money.
That is absurd.
That's preposterous. Sure.
Walked around. By the end of the first day, I had asked a lot of people. The numbers were very low. The non-foil was 150. The same store was going, the foil is 300. I went, no. Walked around. Came to somebody else that I knew and ended up didn't start a bidding war, but was kind of ping-ponging back between two people who had money. Sure. Ended up getting the number up to 1,100. Sold American.
Jesus.
So on the day that I sold it for 1,100, there were two private buyers that were kind of working for stores and or themselves.
Sure.
All the stores were saying 500. This is Friday night.
Okay.
Playing a second tournament, cash. Sell the non-foil to a friend for $225, which I'm like, sick. And then later that night, so Friday night, it's 500 at vendors.
Okay.
Saturday night, I sell my second one. Same guy, 1,100. After I sold it to him at the same stall that was initially 300, I moved to 500. I sell it to him for 11. That stall says 1,000. I went, well, 1,100 still feels good, but I'm kind of bummed. Because if they're offering 1,000, this might have not been as good a deal as I thought.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, they are going for 1,400, and I've heard rumor of them going for 2,000 at a vendor, which means they're worth way more. By the time we get to about 3 p.m., a friend of mine listed his foil one on eBay, and it sold for $5,000.
What?
So in the course of 36 hours, I went from feeling like a genius to a complete fucking idiot. And I have never been, is the high and low of being like, I spent $270. I made 20, what was it? 25. Holy shit. I'm on the top of the world to, my God, what have I done?
My God, I could have made 8. Yeah.
I could have made $10,000. Yeah. Fuck me. I was my friend was not particularly having it because his weekend was not good, but I was fit to be tied. I was like, I don't feel good. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. My week, every interaction I had that weekend with gambling or playing, which I did do a little gambling, friend backed me, and for the first time in a hot minute, I won playing poker pretty easily.
Nice.
Like, I had the Midas touch, and I still left Vegas feeling like I had lost because of that disparity. It's like, no.
That's funny.
So with that sadness mic drop, what's been going on in your neck of the woods?
So I have been what the fuck's happened a month. So I've been playing a fair amount of Path of Exile. They did a new an update, and I've been having a good time with that.
Woo!
Yeah.
Well, especially considering the last one was like Sadness Town, right?
More than the last is just so long ago.
Well, the last one was 2, is what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. So there was something kind of since 2. They threw like a bone to us, and that was actually pretty fun. But yeah, I still don't like 2. I don't like the update they did for 2. Maybe it'll get better. I hope it does. I don't like it. But yeah, all of playing PoE 2 really reminded me is like, wow, I like PoE 1 so much more. That like pretty much playing any other ARPG, I'm just like, yeah, but this game just does it better. Huh.
It's like having a second kid and then looking at your first kid, you're like, no, you're the best one.
Just like, nah, I got it right the first time. God damn.
Fucking nailed it.
Yeah. So, been having fun. Also been getting preposterously lucky recently.
Hey, yo!
Yeah, I got like last week, last weekend, basically, Saturday, I got like my biggest drop of the league, which is 25 divine, which can bankroll a decent build. Like 25 div gets you a fair ways. I was like, fucking sweet. All right, time to make an alt. I got the money now. And then,
is it possible to buy it in game currency, or do you have to earn it?
Is it possible? Yes. Is it potentially bannable? Also, yes.
Oh, okay.
Also, fuck RMTs and people who do it. Kick rocks. I hate that.
RMTs?
Real money transactions.
Okay, so I don't want to take too much time with this, but what are your thoughts for people that like playing games, but don't, they have a big person job, they've got a family, they've got kids, they don't have the time that we have to put into a game, but they want to play it with, like if they were a friend of yours and they wanted to play at your level. What are your thoughts on that kind of argument?
I mean, then have a friend help bankroll them. Like, if they want to do it like that, you can basically have people like kind of shortcut you and like funnel you gear or do things like that. I hate people that just go, I hate the Elon Musk syndrome of things, of just buying a character and buying all your shit. Like, fuck off. Like, I get that at times it's frustrating, and like the game is a time sink. I do appreciate that, and like also, it's a fucking game, and there's no pay for it unless you're streaming. So like, while I do get people want to play it at like a higher level, tough. I don't know.
All right.
Like, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. I don't want to take too much time with this. Just curious.
So like Monday, I kind of there's a thing called div cards, which can basically turn into any item in the game if you get enough of them, right? But there's a thing called stack decks, which you flick one over and it becomes a random divination card. I had like 20. I was like, you know what? I usually just sell these because people love to gamble. Fuck it, I'll gamble. I hit one that was worth 80 divine.
Let's go.
So it's just like, I had an actual like audible reaction. I just like rolled it. It hit the ground and went, ah! Just so caught off guard.
All right, hold on, real quick. Last night I was walking, and I was just looking at my phone because I know the path. I'm really good at reacting with my peripheral to like not running into people. And this poor unfortunate black guy was just walking on a block where the lights had either dimmed or gone out, and I just looked up at just the right time, and he stepped out of the shadows, and I was just caught off guard. So it was and wasn't because he was black. And I was like, "Hua!" And I just like threw up my arm. I did not at him, but I just kind of like jumped away, put up my arms as protecting myself. And then clearly just walked up by and just started laughing at how stupid that was and how racist I looked. Like 100% of the guys walking back be like, fucking white people.
Like, fucking dumbass honky.
Anyway, audible reaction.
Audible reaction. What is it? Back to swimming again. I actually had my best time for my 3K on
fucking
Friday.
Yeah, boy!
So the previous to best time to this week was like 64 minutes, like 64:15, and then Tuesday I did 63:10. I was like, cool, we'll take it. And then Friday,
I was gonna be happy about taking off my shirt and going swimming at Ostrom this coming week. Now I'm gonna be fucking self-conscious again. Rocking up next to like fucking D-grade Michael Phelps.
I would say the Friday I got 62:20, so
yard. Hey, yo, that's huge.
Yeah,
congrats.
So the goal of eventually getting it sub 50 minutes is we're getting there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Otherwise, work has been work. I had to snap at an engineer for being an idiot and mispronouncing my name over and over again. I don't know if he thinks I'm kidding or not, and I kind of hope he just doesn't. And because I can't wait, I will drop a meeting call so fucking fast.
Like, watch me power play on you, old man. I'll like, fucking do it all day.
You feel free to lodge a complaint or talk to anyone else in my group whose names you can fucking pronounce. Like, I refuse. Like, if you can't figure it out, and he supposedly has a note card where he tracks people that he has trouble with their name, and I'm like, that note card ain't doing you shit.
You might need a new note card. Just
incinerate that garbage and start over. Or write it phonetically, you dumb cunt. Jesus. Or just call me Eli. Like, there's so many options here. You daft bastard. Yeah, I've been, still hanging out with Eli, still very much enjoying their company. Got to have like a moment of like, oh, this is what clear communication can look like in a relationship, where problems don't have to become cataclysms. Holy shit. That is kind of eye-opening and sad to be like, wow, I had so much time with my ex-wife where we just didn't do this proactively.
I mean, dude, peopling is like, I'm not giving an excuse, but peopling is so fucking hard. Like, you're just hanging with somebody who is a cut above. Like, sadly, I don't think your ex-wife is like, there was many things that like they weren't great at, but they weren't like so far below the average American. I think average Americans just fucking humans suck at this. So sure. you're just balling with the star right now.
Like, I don't disagree, and there's definitely a lot of people suck at it, but it was just kind of like staggering to be like, oh, this is what it could be.
Yeah.
God, really? This?
Yeah, it's like
problems resolved this easily.
It's like,
oh my God.
There's a podcast I was listening to where somebody worked for American companies for the longest time, and then they got hired by a German company, and their like intro meeting of where they're going through their like packet, they were just blown away. They're like, all right, so here's your cell phone. It's yours. It's free. They're like, okay. They're like, all right. Also, you have, I think it was like 6 weeks paid vacation throughout the year, and they're like, huh?
Yeah, it's like 5 is basically the minimum in most places in Europe.
Yeah. And he was, but I mean, like in America, you're just like, if you have 3 weeks, you're fucking high on the hog.
Yeah, so I started at 2. Since I've been there long enough, I have 3 now.
Yeah. It's just like, what? Yeah. It's just like, and it just like kept going from there. He's like, I think I might need to move to Germany. It's like, yeah. And you're over here like, wow, I think I might need to move to Eliville. Yeah.
Um, yeah. They brought back the form of like they brought back Arena for League.
Woo!
Fucking idiots. I love they talked up how great like Brawl's gonna be great, and then like within a week the community went, this is fucking ass.
Nah.
You Arena died for this
Try
shit.
again.
Yeah, like it was just an inferior form of a game mode they had, in my opinion. The only upside is that it was very fast. It did fill that niche very quick. It was like 10 minutes in and out. So
Yeah.
like to that degree, cool.
Neat.
But
Yeah.
otherwise, shit. So we yeah. I don't know. Been reading, working out. Life goes on. I got to see a friend I haven't seen in a while. That was cool. She got to have the same kind of like um realization, which God, we had the most like, oh, I fucking see you. Because she for a long time has been like dating and living with somebody who has borderline personality disorder.
Oof.
And so I mean, like Artemis had BPD too. Um and she started like dating somebody who is just like is a better communicator and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like we had the same kind of like, yeah, no, I get it, 100%.
Yep.
Like, yep, just
Yeah. They're not a better person. It's just a lot easier.
yeah. It turns out when you don't have to walk on eggshells, when you don't have to worry about potential responses, and when you feel enabled and empowered to just address issues or talk about things that you're uncomfortable with, life is just fucking easier.
Yep.
Anyways,
Well, stories that aren't necessarily the easiest thing to follow or understand often have one thing in common.
that narrator ain't reliable.
I can't trust you. So today we're going over some of our favorite unreliable narrators in all kinds of media. Actually, I think we have all kinds here. Is it? I guess there's no book. There's movie. We have movie,
Movie,
TV show, and
show,
video game.
game.
Yeah, no books. That's on you. I don't read.
As you just heard, there are spoilers for a bunch of movies, series, and games in this episode. If you want to skip them entirely, skip to 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 2 seconds. I will also have a per movie timestamp voiceover at the beginning of each section.
So, first up, we've got. I don't know if this is the most famous one. And it is interesting in that it's unreliable for, I think, a different reason than basically all the rest of them. So, by the way, spoilers.
Spoilers for Memento end at 31 minutes and 15 seconds.
The first up we got is Memento. This is Christopher Nolan's. Is this his first movie?
It is not, and the only reason I know that is because of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Is this first one the other one I'm thinking of? Is it not what's
It's
the one
like
with Robin
Following.
Williams? Oh, is it? Yeah, The Following. I mean, not technically, but the other ones are shorts. But his first feature length one was Following, which is fucking also insane for a first. Oh wait, no, this isn't the one I was thinking of. Okay, I actually haven't seen this one.
Yeah,
What am I
the only reason I know it is because there's an episode where Pimento shows back up, and he's got like retrograde amnesia, and so Jake is helping. He's like, Pimento has memento disease. It's like, it's the first movie made by Christopher Nolan. He's like, I was like, come on, Jake. Following was Christopher Nolan's first movie. You're looking like a grade A asshole out here.
So okay, his second feature film. I was thinking of Insomnia, which is actually his third. So yeah, in Memento, the character lives in it's like 5 or 15 minute snippets before his mind resets, and the film is shot out of order with a very intentional, kind of lens to confuse you and think that the story is actually one way when it is very much not. and it's just really cool kind of puzzle to put back together. Definitely one of those movies that is very rewatchable, not because you need to, but because you like see the story differently. I think about the third time it like I think is where you kind of hit the ceiling of, other than like seeing new stuff and understanding it differently, but of like really putting all three of them together, which is really really neat. Um, but yeah, I think that one is probably the best use of, like, I love Pulp Fiction, of movies shot out of order,
Sure.
but Memento is the one that actually uses it for a storytelling purpose as opposed to just style.
Yeah, fair. As I said, the out of orderness of Pulp Fiction doesn't really serve a purpose outside of tying the end to the start.
Yeah, I mean, it's style. It's
Yeah,
it's an outfit. All right. Any thoughts on Memento, or
I haven't seen Memento.
so next?
So next, Inception is. I'm just gonna stick on Christopher Nolan while we're here.
Say, wait, do we have other? I just realized we had two Nolans.
um,
Spoilers for Inception end at 34 minutes and 6 seconds.
Inception plays the idea of like what is real versus what isn't, and the idea that like dream becomes reality. So it from the fucking onset kind of hits you with the hey, don't trust it.
Yeah, what you see is not what you see.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of like, and that's one of the running themes is like how much does Jason Cobb?
It's
That's
not Jason, but
it's
it's
not
Cobb.
Jason. It is Cobb though.
I'll look up his name.
Thank you.
Continue.
Like how much of what he sees is actually real, because there is the interference of his brain via his dead ex-wife or his dead wife with Mal, and the strange navigating like Ariadne is trying to do with him.
Dom Cobb.
Thank you.
Although I think he's only referred to as Cobb throughout the movie, so
That's very possible too. Um, and it kind of culminates in the end with him potentially getting the outcome he wants,
yeah.
and that just leaves. There have been kind of frame by frame analysis to suggest that yes, he is actually in reality, because you see the top wobble, whereas when he's in the dream, it doesn't wobble at all.
Yeah.
It's like maybe, probably, but there's still enough suspicion. And when you have to go back and analyze frame by frame by frame by frame, it has done the job.
My favorite is that
screwing
Michael
you.
Caine wouldn't take the role if Christopher Nolan didn't tell him what the ending meant, if it was real or not. He's like, "You're gonna tell me, or I won't do it." And Christopher Nolan's like, "Okay, fine." This is fucking adorable.
That's awesome. And it leaves like, and the reason it does it so well, I think, is like the last bit where he goes to find the guy who can get him out, where they go to limbo and take effectively the leap of faith out to hopefully come back to reality and not just sit in a drug-fueled fugue on a plane. It's just that. It could just be a crazy drug-fueled fugue state.
Yep.
You don't actually know. Like, Cobb has lost himself in brains before and has lived an entire life in a dreamscape. It's not impossible he couldn't manufacture another one.
Yeah. Or that he's not like one step lower and just living in a dreamscape to begin with.
Yeah.
So next up we've got kind of one of the Mac Daddies of, narrator that can't be trusted in Fight Club.
Spoilers for Fight Club end at 38 minutes and 24 seconds.
Was it Chuck Palahniuk?
Tyler Durden? What?
No, Chuck Palahniuk, the
Oh.
author. Creates this fantastic, coming from a very interesting set of experiences himself, not unlike our main character. I think it's supposed to be like, I think the main character, other than being called narrator, but it's supposed to be like Jack is his like pseudo name.
I am Jack's complete lack of surprise.
Yeah. So the fantastic thing for me is I remember seeing this one wrong and watching the ending on like a. Do you remember that kind of Christian concert series, Acquire the Fire?
Yeah.
So one of the times we were coming back, we got stuck because the road was closed or something like that over the pass,
Mm-hmm.
and so we stayed in like Sacramento or wherever
Sure.
at a hotel, and having that moment of like, ugh, parents aren't around, just like stayed up to like 5 in the morning watching like TV. Ended up watching Fight Club. I didn't know what it was, and it was like 2/3 of the way through.
Hmm.
So the first scene I remember is the hotel scene of like Brad Pitt in that fucking absurd outfit with sunglasses, just sitting in the fucking the hotel room chair.
Or he's
But
like, say it.
say it. Upon rewatch, the movie just continues to hold up and be awesome. But it is fantastic in the way that you are misled, not only because of how it serves the story, but because of like how seamless it is and how it plays with and without it. I think that's like one of the things that really is set up on these lists, is that like it needs to cut both ways. But man,
Yeah. And
this one hasn't aged well, but I think that's because of not too dissimilar to, I think, another movie on this list, is that people just don't understand what it's trying to say, in my opinion. Obviously, art is subjective, but I don't think Fight Club is saying, hey, go form a fight club. I think Fight Club is going, hey, look at your society and look at yourself, which we don't do enough. I really like that.
yeah. I also love that it has effectively the audacity to give you hints.
Yeah.
Like
The like you're talking about the flickering images and stuff
the
like
the
that?
flickering images, like as a reference to him changing film, like the film cutovers.
Yeah.
Um,
A
the fact
nice
that you
big fat cock. Which, by the way, that's a reference to a famous, I believe it's the beginning of the Seventh Seal, which is a famous Bergman film. There is one of those. So that is like a reference to a reference and playing in form. It's fucking awesome.
hilarious.
Yeah.
But like also you see him like steal a car in the background of a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like
At the airport. Yeah.
yeah. It's just like fucking yoink some dude's convertible. Um, yeah, it really does have the greatest reveal that like, oh, this is not the juxtaposition that it goes from you think you know what's happening to you have no idea, and the because you get the I kind of love it on the first watch because you get to be lost with Tyler Durden when he figures out who he is, that he's been following his imaginary friend, because
Yep.
dissociative identity disorder is a hell of a drug, because that is functionally what it is
Yeah.
effectively a brand of DID.
So moving on from one of my favorite movies to one of your favorite shows, lest I heard. What we got next?
As I say, I need this is a show I need to go back and just watch all the way through again, because I've seen the first season, like the first two seasons twice, and it's honestly first season is such a fucking banger, and definitely does most of this for this topic. The first season is the biggest impression of horribly misleading narration, because because he
So what
doesn't
show are
know
we talking about? For
Mr.
starters?
Robot. Sorry, I thought I said
Spoilers for Mr. Robot end at 42 minutes and 5 seconds.
um, Mr. Robot. The first season especially absolutely fucks with what you think is real. Because Rami Malek is kind of crazy. By kind of, I mean he's completely off his meds. Um, Christian Slater's character isn't real. Like the iconic kind of Mr. Robot character is just a figment of his imagination. It is a manifestation of his dead dad.
Oh,
He
that's funny.
he forgets that the that one of the girls is his sister, and he like tries to make out with her.
Uh,
It's, he just forgets who she is. He's literally off his meds. Like he's straight up off his medication, and he's hallucinating. And so like that is one of his big wake up moments, is where she goes, "Do you not remember who I am?" And he just goes, "Wait, what?" And and they start to play it back and show that again, Mr. Robot isn't real. Like he thought that he pushed him off of a pier. Nope, he just jumped. Rami Malek just threw himself off a pier.
As one does.
Yeah, like broke his own leg basically. And why is my monitor flickering like this? I don't like this. It just keeps going to like fading to black, and I don't really understand why. And even a bit in the second season, it does more unreliable narration too, because you don't know for the first 2 episodes that he's in prison. Like you think he's just staying in his house, like because he doesn't want to go be outside, because he doesn't want to see people, he doesn't want to associate with people, because he's feels horribly guilty about kind of the chaos that he's caused. And so it kind of makes sense that he'd return to somewhere familiar. He's supposed to be living with his mom again. It's like, nope, that's a prison guard. The reason he keeps doing the same routine, he's in prison. And because you do the same routine in prison, it turns out, yeah, it does a lot of kind of perception middle fingers, where it just doesn't let you entirely know what's going on until everything can be revealed. So that is like Mr. Robot is definitely a show I need to go finish, since it is done. It's been done for a while. But like I tried to watch it like twice with Artemis, and she couldn't commit because it kind of unsettled her to a degree.
Which, given what you've been saying, fair.
Yeah. So that may be a show I just start watching on my own, because I'm in a bit of a weird show lull, and I'm curious what other mindfuckery it does.
Well, while you do that, I'm gonna gush about American Animals.
Go for it.
Spoilers for American Animals ends at 45 minutes and 54 seconds.
So American Animals is actually kind of rare for this list, and rare in general. It's docufiction, where they got, so it's about a story that happened in Kentucky, at the University of Kentucky, I believe, where 4 students robbed this like library museum thing for a couple of really, really, really rare books.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up getting caught. They got the books back. Happy ending. However, the story itself is fucking crazy for a couple of weird reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But they brought in all of the actual people. So they shoot it like a movie.
Okay.
Except then they do these cutaways to the actual 4, I wouldn't call them masterminds, but criminals that basically pulled off this caper and then got caught later.
Mm-hmm.
And they're cutting back and forth. And the first time, and this is one of my favorite scenes in movies, period, where it shows you, maybe this is... It's talking to the 2 main characters, if you will, and it cuts to their real-life counterparts. And one of them goes, yeah, we were at a party when we first talked about it. And the other guy goes, we were in front of like a Quickie Mart, drinking beer in the car and talking about it.
Yeah.
And it splices them together. So initially they're on the outside of a porch at a party talking, and then one of the characters passes a beer to another, and it does this frame match cut where suddenly they're inside of a car at a Quickie Mart. And it does this like 1 or 2 times. And they're inside a car, but they're still breathing like frost air because they're also outside simultaneously. And so it does this really good visual representation of both scenes simultaneously existing. It's like the Schrodinger's fucking match cut or something like that. I don't know. It's fucking awesome.
Schrodinger's match cut.
It's so fucking cool. It's one of my favorite scenes ever. But the movie does this in more subtle ways and in bigger, more important storytelling ways later on, where it's just like, yeah, so this main guy said he had a fence to sell this like stolen book.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody ever met him. And he said he did. But also, how the fuck would he know a fence in Amsterdam? He's lived in Kentucky his whole life and played football. And so it's got this like, yeah, that's cool, but also why would that exist? And at the end, it cuts to the main dude, the real life version of the main dude, kind of smirking, and then cuts to black because they still aren't sure. And it's fucking rad. I would highly recommend watching this movie. It is so cool. Not only that, also the introduced me to Leonard Cohen and used one of his songs fucking flawlessly. Which every time I've heard a Leonard Cohen song in a movie, it's always been like a 10 out of 10 knockout. It's so interesting to think about. But yeah, highly recommend checking out American Animals if you, especially docufiction is kind of neat in general, and this one is about something that's relatively recent, has the people, also has like a good acting cast. Just chef's kiss. What we got next, homie?
We got a big fish to catch. Big Fish is a surprisingly charming, bizarre little film.
Spoilers for Big Fish end at 49 minutes and 6 seconds.
Big Fish is a surprisingly charming, bizarre little film. Also, just Ewan McGregor is fucking great. Who doesn't love Obi-Wan? Anyway,
do you mean Jesus?
Hello there. It is such an odd like recounting of someone's life, and effectively just kind of like an auditory biography of what this guy thinks his life is as he is on the decline, as he's pretty much just waiting to die. And so it's him kind of reconciling with his son, who his son thinks he just hasn't been present. He's just kind of a con man. He doesn't know what to necessarily believe about his dad. And so it's just hearing stories about his dad's life, which all are crazy. They're fucking insane. Like, one of his stories about how he meets his, like, when he sees the love of his life, when he sees this kid's mom, is he was performing in the circus, and he sees the love of his life, and time stops. And he walks up to, and so indeed, he walks up to her and, like, gets to marvel at this gorgeous woman. He's like, what they don't tell you is that when time stops, it speeds up to correct, and so everything just zooms around him, and she's just fucking gone. Like, it's just shit like that, where it's like, okay, that's not real. But what is? And so there's this really cool, mega spoiler, there's this really cool moment at the end where the kid has this moment of kind of like epiphany and understanding. Where one guy says, yes, your dad missed your birth because he was like selling fucking phone books. It's something so innate. It's like, but he says he was getting his wedding ring back from getting a giant fish, like from catching a big fish.
Yeah.
Which is a better story? And which is really more like your dad? And so at the end, when his dad dies, people show up from his life. And there are people from the stories that seem too ostentatious to be true. Like, there is, in fact, a fucking carnival, like a guy who runs a circus. There is this giant who shows up too. And all these other people that it's like, they couldn't be fucking real, yet here they are. It's just this really interesting, like, trying to reconcile, like, how much of what he said is actually true? Shit. I don't know. And it is just really sweet. The movie is just really sweet and goofy.
Well,
I say, and I did have one edition. I don't know if you've seen Perfect Blue.
I was gonna say, well, speaking of things that are sweet, what do we have next that isn't?
Oh God, no. As a Perfect Blue is
Spoilers for Perfect Blue end at 52 minutes and 41 seconds.
Perfect Blue is
Many things. Sweet is not one of them.
no, it's not. It's terrific. It's horrifying. It is a who did it? Who is the monster that made this movie? He's done a bunch of stuff.
Satoshi Kon?
Yes, it is. It is Satoshi Kon. Perfect Blue basically follows the life of somebody who's like a J-pop star who tries to be an actress, and the horrifying like social stigma that gets tied to it, the incredible pressure and stress to perform in an unknown and unhospitable environment. And so you're watching someone start to have a psychic break, or a psychic break, a psychological break. Suddenly, it's telepathic, um, and you start to really lose grasp on what is actually happening, what she is actually doing, and whether or not what she's seeing is a hallucination. And it just gets more and more lost in the weeds of what she is perceiving as real as it goes, which actually makes a lot of sense from like a diagnostic perspective, because a psychotic break is usually brought on by intense stress.
Huh. Funny that.
Crazy. And like, but at one point she sees like a character she played, like her old J-pop personality, like harassing her. And at one point, her old J-pop personality jumps out of the window and bounces on street lamps and says to follow her. Where it's like, okay, that can't be real.
I hope.
Like, but later there is somebody who is, she sees her J-pop personality, but it's actually her old fan, and it wasn't like her manager, but it was someone who had like worked with her and helped her and supported her, who didn't want her to not be a J-pop star, and so she shows up dressed as her old J-pop persona and chases her with a fucking knife.
As one does.
Yeah, and so it does this really cool thing where as they're running, it shows, like well lit glowing J-pop persona chasing, but you see in the reflection like mirrors and windows the actually crazy bitch with a knife sprinting at her, like huffing and puffing. It's so cool. Like it really does such a good job, and it's so cool to go back and disentangle like where it's real and where it isn't, because it doesn't talk with you like Inception does, where it's like I can't technically be sure, because you can go back and dissect it and see where was real, where it isn't. But it's such a cool thing to do, because in the moment it's hard to tell. I just wanted to gush on Perfect Blue.
Right. Well, one of the ones that is kind of impossible to tell until the very end. So we're actually changing. We kind of forgot to mention this at the beginning.
We did.
So the last bunch that we said, we are of the opinion that they don't know that they are misleading the audience. The narrator is as clueless as we are.
Yeah.
However, in the next, the character that is misleading is doing it either intentionally, or one of the characters is very aware of the kind of subterfuge that they are putting on display.
Yeah.
So the first up, in his, and I'm pretty sure this is true, in his first feature film, we've got yet another another listing of Edward Norton just kind of popping off here and showing the world why he is a great actor, albeit maybe not as good as he thinks, because his opinion of himself is quite large. In Primal Fear.
Spoilers for Primal Fear end at 57 minutes and 30 seconds.
So in Primal Fear, big spoilers, it comes into play that a priest has been murdered, and that there's a good chance and or definitely was abusing children.
Everyone's favorite.
Everybody's favorite. And they're trying to get to the bottom of it, like how this happened. And, like what kind of punishment is due. Initially, when you come in, you're kind of, the main character is Richard Gere, brings in and meets Edward Norton's character. He's this poor, oh gosh, kind of, I can't do that and the country bumpkin kind of thing, but he kind of from somewhere in the South, can't talk well, very, yeah. And I think it's middle of the second act or so, just fucking snaps And Richard Gere's character is kind of done with him. He's like, whatever, I'm done with this case. Good luck with that. You're not answering my questions. He's annoyed at the character's kind of inability to tell him information. And as he goes to leave the room, it's just this hard pivot. It's, you sit right the fuck down. It's like, what? And just like the look on his face, everything is gone. It's a different person. And you're like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? And you are then convinced through the discussions that he created, like, he has a personality disorder, and that he made this other personality, which killed the priest out of, being abused and messed up. Makes sense. And it ends up playing out. He gets, it gets ruled as something that isn't murder at the end of it. In the last scene, before Richard Gere walks out into just like wild confusion and the American public, the jury's in, he's either free to go or needs to see a therapist, or I don't think he's going to like a psych ward, but basically gets off with a lesser charge. And you're like, you know what, that probably should happen. He's talking to him, and there's one thing that Richard Gere can't quite figure out in regards to the thing. And Edward Norton looks at him and goes, "Counselor, there never was an Aaron." And it dawns on you that the fabricated personality wasn't the first one that you interacted with, it was the second. And that this whole thing was premeditated. While the priest was a piece of shit, this kid is actually like a psycho killer and planned this out, came up with a false persona, and has been playing everybody like a fiddle the whole movie. Literally one of the tour de forces. I believe he was nominated for an Oscar. Kind of a crime he didn't get it, but first time, so you can't give it to him that easy. It's just amazing act of cinema, and just like one of the biggest reveals that I think I've ever seen at the end of a movie.
Yeah. Jeez.
All right, next up, we've got our one video game entry this episode.
BioShock.
Woo!
Spoilers for BioShock end at 1 hour and 56 minutes.
Great game. Still kind of holds up. The graphics are a little rough, but the gameplay's still great. BioShock is... It kind of starts you off with a lot of question marks. Like, you don't really know who you are. You just know you're on a plane that crashes, probably. And then you just pick up a gun and start fighting through Rapture, because people have gone fucking crazy in Rapture, which is an underwater city created by a guy named Andrew Ryan. You are being told by the one friendly person who helps kind of smuggle you stuff and drop stuff through vents for you, Atlas. Keeps giving you this narrative that Andrew Ryan's a terrible guy. This is how you can get back at him. This is what we can do to undermine his operation here in Rapture. It all needs to go. It's gone horribly wrong. And you finally get to the point, and every time he talks to you, says, so, would you kindly go destroy this generator? Would you kindly deal with the Big Daddy? Would you kindly, etc. It's always, that's just what Atlas says. Would you kindly kill Andrew Ryan? So you finally get to confront him, and you get kind of trapped in this box for a moment. Andrew Ryan gets to talk to you, and he gives you this spiel that says, "A man listens, a slave obeys." And you beat Andrew Ryan to death with a golf club. Because, of course, he has a golf club. But he tells you that you are being tricked. You are being manipulated. Because he says, would you kindly sit down? And you do. You have now. You can't ignore your previous order. You have to kill Andrew Ryan. But you have not been deciding what you're doing. You have been doing it because Atlas has been telling you to do it. And then once Andrew Ryan is dead, Atlas's voice goes from kind of upbeat and like British to very malevolent American. And oh, it turns out he is Fontaine. He is the bad guy that's been rumored this whole time, the person who is actually more likely responsible for the downfall of Rapture and things going absolutely chaotic and out of order. And he then tells you to go get stepped on by a big daddy. It is such a great rug pull where you just, the whole time, it's made sense. And you don't think about his wording, it just, would you kindly? It's just how he talks. Nope. It's so good.
So next up, we have our second Fincher film on the listing. So, Gone Girl.
Spoilers for Gone Girl end at 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 6 seconds.
Gone Girl is an interesting movie in that it's a two-parter that runs kind of, that pings pong back and forth. It starts off, and you think that Ben Stiller isn't a bad husband, but is an asshole. And then, okay, maybe he is a bad husband. And then, oh my God, did he kill his wife? And then you go through the kind of proceedings of, I think he might have killed his wife, but also he's looking for his wife. And is this, what is this? And then it's revealed that his wife faked her own death, blamed it on him, took money, and disappeared because she wanted to be free of him and do her own thing. And the way it sets up the film, the way it initially leads you and then corner turns, and then the way it ends. I don't know if I've been more unsure of more things in quite a while. It really does a great job at setting up this probably, but maybe circumstance in very many storytelling facets while still having a compelling story that I could, write out a one-page synopsis while still having it easily could be written another way. So fucking awesome. Also, watching was it Rosamund Pike kind of be the best Bond girl to get away from the Bond tropes is pretty awesome. She's just an underutilized asset. She's so amazing. I haven't seen Wheel of Time, but if I was going to, that she would probably be the reason why. All right. So going from one psycho lady to one psycho American.
Psycho man. American Psycho.
Spoilers for American Psycho end at 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 6 seconds.
Watch. His name isn't Patrick Bateman. It is Patrick Bateman. Okay,
yeah,
I was right. Okay. I don't know why. Anyway,
do not doubt thyself.
Yeah, seriously, thank you. Christian Bale. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. So watching Christian Bale playing Patrick Bateman, who it starts off kind of innocent, and then everything goes fucking crazy very quickly because of an obsession over a business card.
Which I was going to talk about this after you're done, but since you brought it up, fun fact: they're all the same. All the business cards are identical. They all have the same type.
Same
Everything is the same. Watch the scene and turn off the sound and look at them. They are identical. So awesome. This is case in point of how good the movie is at being misleading and I don't know what to trust. Is that the way the scene is said out loud, the shot comp, the lighting, it makes you think that the cards are different. Oh my God, that this guy's card is better. They're literally printed on the same cardstock from the same place with the same ink type, with the same font.
It sends him into this kind of crazy murderous rage. He goes and kills a homeless guy. He then invites Alan to his apartment where he has everything wrapped in plastic. He's is that a raincoat? Why, yes, it is.
He's like a little dog, like a Shih Tzu.
And he brutally murders him with an axe. He then has some hookers over, and he kills them with the chainsaw.
I believe one of them's a hooker. I believe one of them's like loosely related to him. I feel like one of them's like a cousin or something really unsettling.
I think they're just like, he just kind of finds them both.
Is he? Okay.
And it just keeps escalating. He just keeps going, getting more and more violent, getting more and more crazy. Like there's a head in his fridge that's discovered, but then it starts to get weird, and so like he goes to an ATM and it says "Feed me a stray cat." So he goes to shoot a cat, like he's going to feed it to an ATM, like the ATM can eat. But then he goes to visit like Alan's apartment. It's for sale. He literally starts losing his mind, and by the end of it, he actually doesn't know that he's done any of these things. He doesn't know if he's a criminal. He doesn't know if there's dead people anywhere. He isn't sure if he's punished or free, or if he's waiting for the cops to find him or not. It's just, and he's told that the guy he murdered, and what sets him off and just kind of ends with him going into a downward spiral, is that the guy he murdered at the start with an axe, Alan, he's actually just in London. That's not a cover for him being missing. He's just there. He was having dinner with a guy last night.
I'll do you one weirder.
Sure.
This is less on screen and more again in development. This movie is probably the reason we should be having, like, it's not, but it's probably the reason we should be having this episode. The scene where Willem Dafoe, who's the detective, comes and talks to Patrick Bateman's character about the murder or whatever. They had Willem Dafoe play it 3 different ways, where Willem Dafoe, as you know, for the character thinks he's innocent, the character is unsure, and the character thinks he's guilty. They use all 3 of those takes in that one scene. So literally,
they just like splice it together. So
they splice it together.
Affects.
Yes, but the way he is acting has us as the audience and ostensibly Patrick Bateman's character completely flummoxed.
That's crazy.
Right?
All right, what is our last on the list?
To crown this finest of talking points, we got to end with the Mac Daddy of unreliable narrators, Kaiser Soze himself, The Usual Suspects.
Spoilers for The Usual Suspects ends at 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 2 seconds.
This movie might be the perfect one at doing this, or one of the best examples, in that the story you are told the whole entire time might be true, likely true.
It's possible.
Traipsings of true, has true moments in it because we can confirm them that they happened with the police in certain circumstances. So those must be true. But the reasons and the things that happen outside are one person's perspective who is left, who you find out at the end is in fact a criminal mastermind that they've been searching for. So, what of the story is true? Outside of the cop station, what of those things happened? Did he just play with these guys the whole entire time? Were they killed by other people and he was just along for the ride and kind of used them?
What is it?
No one knows.
That's it. You're not really given great information. Outside of him smugly smiling as he walks off.
Yeah, as his gait changes and he goes from a limp to a very good stride. So, to end it briskly, as Kevin Spacey walked away from the law for not the last time, as we now know, let us know if there's any of these that we missed, any of these that you think we didn't see something that you did, or any of these that you loved the most. Hit us up on Blueski at SuperProsBros or at superprosbros@gmail.com. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
Do you worry that your hero isn't up to snuff?
Of course! He isn't even afraid of snakes!
Or perhaps that your villain isn't fit to fight?
Why, yes, of course. I mean, look at my muscles and his rinky-dinky cannon.
Well, then perhaps you should check out RateMySoup.com, where you can look up your villain or hero of choice and determine whether they are right for you. With a patent-pending algorithm that combs through all news and police reports, as well as an input section that allows for past adversaries and combatants to rate them on a variety of scientifically verified wavelengths for super experience. Don't take our word for it. Just listen to these glowing testimonials.
Initially, the agency gave me Nurse Batshit, and she was okay, I guess. But after a friend recommended I check out Rate My Soup, I got matched with Dr. Douchebag, and my life has never been better. After I got my first henchman, I thought I was set. Then they matched with Manly Mannington, who is, shall we say, more man than manly. But after a crime boss told me about Rate My Soup, it saved my life, and I had to check it out. And now I have the best crime time arching beta bitch and her herd of derplings. You're sure they can't see my face right here? So I was matched with the toxic gender, and it was okay. It just didn't work out though. But after I looked up and found cisgen psycho, my life and arching, they took a turn for the evilest.
So if you don't like what you see, what you fight, or what you morally oppose, then take a gander at RateMySoup.com and let us put the wind back in your cape.
Hey, we're back! Thanks for sticking around. And we are on page 4. And if you check the doobly-doo, you will see that we have linked a copy for y'all to read so you can stay up to date on our exquisite corpse. The day continued to surprise Jason with yet another first. He smiled. Jason felt his grin begin to resemble a Carol-esque character. Not exactly. So, you still work there? Jason could see the confusion beginning to purchase rental space, and I'm sorry, what's your name? Julie. So, Julie, I quit. Just saying that refilled Jason's lungs like a hot air balloon at 2 a.m. Oh, something better on the horizon? Nope. His smile knew no bounds. The lion's patience did, however. Hey, I've got a meeting in 3 minutes. Just go fuck in the broom closet already. But leave the coffee. Sorry. Jason bowed out of the line, his grin transmogrifying from a cat into something resembling more of a sheep. As the line dissipated, so did his coffee and delicious excuse for a breakfast. What was he going to do? While he regretted nothing, he sure hadn't thought that far ahead. Hell, he hadn't thought at all. You gonna eat that? Jason looked up to see a man wearing what he hoped was high fashion, pointing at the remaining flakes of his bear claw. Tune in next week to find out what happens with the flakes of the bear claw.
My God.
All right. So, I guess I'll go first because I'm the recommendation king. This has been a while coming, but kind of unpacking my film watching of my flights last month. Inside Out 2, big time banger, great follow up to the original. It continues to make me happy. Really like the notes that they hit. And the story that they put out felt real, which I mean, always, but Inside Out really, I feel like it encapsulates the human experience, not just the human mindset, which I feel like a lot of the other ones, you kind of, you have to make a connection, where this one, it just felt like being seen in small ways, being that awkward kid in high school, wanting to be cool, just little stuff like that. It felt so uncomfortably real in the best way. So if you like the first one, and I mean, you've seen this one, right?
Nope.
Okay.
I haven't seen the second one. Oh, excuse me.
Well, I think it continued in the vein of the first one, and I know how you and many therapists view the first one, so I hope it hits the same bell as the second. What about you? What is your recommendation?
I'll say the last time I mentioned the first book of this series, Shadow of the Gods. Well, I read the rest of the series because, goddamn.
Well, it's been a month, but also, yeah.
Well, I mean, I finished it like 2 weeks ago.
All right. Well,
not quite, but like I basically just crushed them. I was reading them kind of when I had spare time. Pretty much every time I had spare time. It's great.
Who was this written by?
John Wine.
Okay. I wasn't sure if this was somebody I knew of before or not.
Yeah, the series continues to fucking slap hard. It's really good. It don't get it's a little rough. It's so.
It sounded like you were going through something.
I am. I was. It's it has a lot of really good like emotional payoffs. I've also never had a series that so much I'm like, I know some people are gonna kick the bucket and gonna eat it, and I'm so excited for when it finally happens. Oh,
in a cathartic way,
it
as
delivered.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's just people. It's like they need to die. They are awful.
I wasn't sure if it was like, I love this character, I know they're going to eat it, but it's going to be beautiful.
No. There's a couple of those where I wasn't sure who was going to eat it. I just knew I'm like, I don't think everyone gets to walk away. Yeah. I was right, unfortunately. Which they absolutely punched some people that I fucking adored. I'm like, no. One character I thought was going to eat it lives, and I was like, yes. But they killed someone else that I thought was going to live, so I was like, no. Yeah, but it's awesome. It's really good. It has like it also just acts as like a main character. I was not expecting it to. I was like, oh wow, she's just gone. Okay. So it's really good. It's really well written. Like it's very good. It's just great.
Does it flow well, or is it like what reading level would you put it at?
Like I don't know, high schoolish, maybe a little above. Like it's not.
If you have room in your bag, pack the first one. I might take a gander while we're at Austin next week.
Sure, I can bring the first one.
All right. Well, to steal his book and to steal the show, I have a musical recommendation this week. It's the dumbest name of one of the better bands or artists I've heard in quite a while. It's Joe P. That's it. Joe space P. Not P period, just P.
Just P.
Shadow in the Sun and Fighting in the Car. Holy fucking shit. I have listened to them so much, and I'll listen to them again in 5 seconds. They're so freaking good. They just be hitting. Just bangers. It doesn't need to be the right moment, but it can make it the right moment. But before I go off and listen to that, and before we end this episode, we've got to quip off with an overdue subject. My Broskinkowski, what are we quipping today?
We are quipping Guy Ritchie's Snatch.
Heyo. Oh, not that kind of Snatch. Got him.
I don't like how that worded.
All right, I'm putting 2 minutes on the timer. Ready, set. I know you're going to take the line first, so say it.
Who? Need protection from who? The Germans?
Yeah, dogs?
It's an unlicensed boxing match. It's not a tickling competition.
You know what nemesis means? a righteous infliction of retribution manifested by appropriate agent, pussified in this case by an horrible cunt. Me.
The fact that I've got Desert Eagle 5.0 written on the side of mine should precipitate your balls into shrinking, along with your presents. Now, fuck off.
It was 2 minutes, 5 minutes ago.
Why do they call him Bullet Dodger? Because he dodges bullets.
You can call me Susan if it makes you happy.
Shut up and sit down, you big bald fuck.
Heavy is good. Heavy is reliable. If it doesn't work, you can always hit him with it.
You said he was a getaway driver. The fuck can he get away from, eh?
I don't care if he's Muhammad, Ahmad, Bruce Lee. You can't change fighters.
I thought this country spawned the fucking language. So far, nobody seems to speak it.
In the quiet words of the Virgin Mary, come again?
Yes, London. You know, fish chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins. London.
You're always going to have problems lifting a body in one piece. Apparently, the best thing to do was cut up a corpse into 6 pieces and pile it all together. And when you've got your 6 pieces, you get rid of them, because it's no good idea leaving it in a deep freeze for your mum to discover. Now is it? Then I hear the best thing for you to do is to feed it to pigs. You got to starve the pigs for a few days, and then the sight of chopped up body will look like curry to a pisshead. You got to shave the heads of your victims and pull the teeth out for the sake of the piggy's digestion. You could do this afterwards, of course, but you don't want to go sieving through pig shit now, do you? Then they will go through bone like butter. You need at least 16 pigs to finish the job in one sitting, so be wary of any man who keeps a pig farm. They will go through a body that weighs 200 pounds in about 8 minutes. That means that a single pig can consume 2 pounds of uncooked human flesh every minute. Hence the expression, greedy as a pig.
My last entry. It isn't English. It isn't Irish. It's just fucking pikey.
And with that technically slightly racist, awesome line, we have our episode. Thank you for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this, please feel free to
like,
comment,
share,
and subscribe.
But don't forget, new episodes of Super Pros Bros come out the first and third Saturday of every month.
Bye.